Well, happy Monday night. I'm meteorologist Matt Barrentine. Of course, we are tracking Hurricane Sally with winds of 100 miles per hour. Makes it a Category 2 hurricane that we are tracking here this evening. It has slowed down to a slow jog, 5 miles per hour. There are a couple of different things working on this system. We got some winds in the upper levels pushing at it from the west, slowing it down. And we got some winds coming in out of the southeast here that's going to try to eventually push it off to the north eventually. But this thing is going to move so slow, it's going to take a long time to get through all this. And also that slow speed adds a lot of uncertainty. Even now, even with it being this close, about 100 miles here off of Gulf Shores, it is still a lot of uncertainty on exactly where the center of this storm will end up. But even though there's a lot of uncertainty about where the center of the storm ends up, there's not much uncertainty about some of the major effects from this system. We'll get into all that here real quick. First off, hurricane warnings obviously up for our entire coast, except for going over towards Okaloosa County. You're still in a tropical storm warning. And of course, one of the big issues here, depending on the exact trajectory of the storm, is how much water it brings in from the ocean. It's going to be coming on up here from the Gulf, and the water is going to rise 6 to 9 feet with the storm surge in parts of Mobile Bay, and 4 to 7 feet over into Baldwin County, 2 to 4 feet over into the Florida Panhandle. And these numbers have come up today as we watch the track shift off to the east. So that is a serious situation that is going to inundate some different areas all the way up to Bayou Sara, west into Dauphin Island, the causeway leading Dauphin Island, the causeway across the bay, parts of Fort Morgan Peninsula. Other areas will see water over coming on in from the storm surge. Radar, here it is, and look at the rain shield with this thing, and that's really going to be the storm surge will do some damage for sure and cause some issues. This is what we're all going to get into, okay? This is going to be quite the rainmaker with its slow speed. And look, like I said, that rain shield, that is just a river of heavy rain, and it's just not moving. So once that gets over us, it's going to start raining and just never really end. Or at least it's going to seem like that. Right now you see those dark greens just offshore. So wow, look at that, the bands are about to come in. Not really. This thing is moving so slow that it's just sort of grazing along the coastline, but not yet really working its way in. That's going to slowly happen overnight and on into tomorrow morning. It's going to be a slow process. But like I said, once it starts raining where you're at, it'll start raining and it just won't stop for a long time. I wanted to show you this. This is the estimated rainfall out here south of Panama City, out here in the Gulf here. You can see over a foot of rain has fallen in this area, and it still hasn't stopped out there. You saw that big shield of rain. It's still raining on top of that. So that's eventually what's going to work its way up towards us. So we're going to see rain totals that we haven't seen since Hurricane Danny back in 1997. Hurricane Danny dropped 36 inches of rain on Dauphin Island. It dropped a widespread about 20 inches of rain across Mobile and Baldwin counties. We're figuring on something pretty similar. We'll see 15 to 20 inches most likely, and there will be spots that get higher amounts than that, especially down near the coastline. So that's what we're looking at here again. Very similar to what Danny did back in 97. 10 to 15, 8 to 10 as you move farther inland, so everybody gets a good amount of rain. Now, I just talked about how there's a lot of uncertainty still in the actual track, and you can see it here with the spaghetti plot. They're just all over the place. That's due to its slow movement. When a system is this slow, any little wobble can push it to one way or the other. Most of the models have been trending eastward today, and you'll see that here in the actual forecast path, the official one from the National Hurricane Center. And always good to look at this because the best minds in the world at hurricane forecasting put this together. So always pay close attention to this. Don't always pay close attention to the center of the track. Remember, there is a cone here, and that cone is there for a reason because it could come in anywhere from Gulfport all the way over to about the Alabama-Florida line. When it does come in, forecast is for it to be Category 2, winds of 105 miles per hour. That is a significant system causing a lot of issues, especially since it'll be moving so slow, driving those winds for a long time over our area. Once again, there is the rain. This is the futurecast. I've got one of the models pulled up. This is the North American model. It's a high resolution. Here's tomorrow morning. In a lot of areas, this is really when the rain will just be beginning. I know it looks really close right now, but it's going to take a while, like I said, for it to move on up. Then as it does, eventually start to work its way slowly northward, these bands will just increase and increase. That'll happen throughout the day tomorrow. So if you wake up in the morning, it's sort of drizzling at your house, it's not raining at all, just be ready. Things will change. Eventually those rain bands will move in, and once they do, it'll keep on raining heavily constantly for a long time. Here we are at 6 o'clock in the evening, going into 9 o'clock in the evening. The center's right there. And this model, and like I said, don't focus too hard on exactly where this model is showing it going, because there's some models that bring it over almost to the Panhandle. There's some models that still bring it over to Gulfport. I'm showing you one that's kind of in between, really. All right, kind of in between. Also, it's showing it's making landfall early on Wednesday morning, so late tomorrow night, really. One of our models, European model, doesn't have it making landfall till late in the day on Wednesday. It slows it down that much. So there's still, like I said, a deep amount of uncertainty in the final track. One couple things we do know, it's going to drop a lot of rain when it does make landfall, or before it makes landfall, and during landfall, and after landfall. And we are going to get major impacts one way or the other, no matter which way it sort of wobbles here on that eventual path. What's really important about where it actually goes in, and obviously there will be hurricane force winds here on the right-hand side of this, and that will cause some damage on top of the rainfall. So a lot to watch out for here with Hurricane Sally. Eventually it'll get out of here sometime during the day on Wednesday, most likely. For now, though, we'll keep tracking this storm for you tonight. Coming up, we'll have another update at 8:30. Of course, Fox 10 News at 9 starts at 9 p.m. We're going to have all the latest, and there'll be a brand new National Hurricane Center track just before the 10 o'clock hour. You're going to want to check that out. All that coming up in just a bit.